Hello guys and welcome to our first video in 2018. It's a camera comparison of 3 best smartphones you can buy today. iPhone X, Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and Huawei Mate 10 Pro. As I said, those are the best smartphones currently in my opinion, and their respective cameras are also in the top 3. Comparing the specs, we can clearly see that these three are very similar in most aspects. One key difference is the 20 megapixel monochrome lens in the Mate 10 Pro opposed to 12 megapixel telephoto lenses in other two phones. The other difference is 4K video at 60 frames per second in the iPhone X. Feature-wise, Samsung and Huawei offer many modes and settings, and also manual controls with Pro mode. iPhone X on the other hand feels pretty basic. Everything is on automatic, you just have to choose between photo and video and press the button. That is why I'll give the Note 8 and Mate 10 Pro an extra point each for being more versatile and feature-packed. Now let's start with video and photo samples. I'm going to label each photo and video with letters A, B and C and later reveal which is which. For video stabilization, all 3 phones are good. Phone C is a bit cropped and phone A is a bit jumpy, while the phone B is slightly more stable than the others and also wider than the phone C, so it deserves to win this round. For the autofocus, the C is slightly faster than the others, but I like the smooth transition with the phone B. Also, the phone A is not far behind. .4K video recording, which I downscaled to 1080p, is good on all 3 phones, but I gave a slight edge to the phone B for the smoothness and quality. Slow motion videos also look best on the phone B most of the time. For the low light video, A is definitely the brightest here and sharp enough to score a point even with the phone B having the most detailed video. For the front cam video, it was a tough call, but for the dynamic range, phone B wins once again. Moving on to the photo samples, and we can clearly notice the difference in color profiles, C being the warmest, B being slightly yellow and A being the most accurate. Also, it often produces brightest photos with well-balanced sharpening, but in this situation, even though I like A the most, phone B has more realistic representation of the actual scene. HDR works well in all 3 phones, but in most cases phone B wins. The results are not always consistent because it's sometimes between A and C, but because of the details, phone B wins most of the times. In panorama mode, B once again has the best dynamic range, but it has visible stitching marks, so the phone C wins. All 3 phones have zoom function, which I find very useful. Phone A is a bit muddy sometimes, and let's crop in to see better. Phone B loses details in the shadows, so a point goes to the phone C. But the phone B bounces back once again with better dynamic range in some situations. And now the most interesting part, portrait mode. All 3 phones are very good in this department, and all 3 have different approaches. The phone C obliterated the background here, but the face is properly exposed, colors are good and sharpness is excellent. I like all 3 photos, but I give a point to the phone C and phone B for being the most detailed once again. In this shot, phone B is much better than the rest. And the next one is technically the best photo, but I prefer the phone C. In this wider shot with a tricky background, phone B wins. The phone C seems to separate the subject from the background better than the other two in most cases. With a harsh sunlight in the back or across the subject, phone B produces the best dynamic range and details. But if you try the portrait mode, phone B and C fail to do it. Only phone A did it without problems. In the low light, phone A once again being the brightest, but phone B is the most detailed and the sharpest one. When you try the portrait mode in low light, B and C failed miserably, and that's an obvious win for the phone A. In extreme low light, phones A and B took solid photos, while C is inexplicably bad. Phone B wins for having the best LED flash. For the front-facing camera and screen flash function, the results are not always consistent. Here I like the phone A, but in this photo I like the phone C. Selfies are very good on all three, but phone B is once again the most detailed, but I prefer the photo from the phone C. All three have portrait modes for the selfie cams, but phones B and C are not doing a great job in differentiating the subject. Phone A wins most of the time with selfies. And that is it. Let us sum up the scores. The phone B picked up most points in the comparison, A second, and with half the points, phone C is in third place. So guys, which is which? A. Huawei Mate 10 Pro, phone B. iPhone 10, and phone C. Samsung Galaxy Note 8. My conclusion is that the best phone for video is definitely the iPhone 10, also for HDR. For selfies, low light and color reproduction, Huawei Mate 10 Pro is the winner, and for zoom and portraits, I like the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. With the points from the beginning of the video, the overall winner by a single point is Huawei Mate 10 Pro. Please write your favorites and your winner in the comment section. That was my comparison of these three phones. All three cameras are great, with only minute differences. See you next week with the Huawei Mate 10 Pro unboxing review.